Hello YouTube and welcome back to the Loose Transistor channel. I'm your host Lucas, and today we're going to be talking about the WP17 Stretch X by Detroit Multirotors. If you've been following along with the channel, you know that this was the first frame that I did a build and review series on, and I've had some time to put it through its paces, to fly it, to crash it, and I think now I can give you guys a better review as to what I think of the quad overall, how the build was, and just my general impressions on it. So let's just get right down to it. You can check out the build videos yourselves. They are on the playlist and on the channel, but I'll give you an idea of it. It was a very simple frame build. Like, everything went together very simply because the arms are connected. There's no separation, so it's basically a pair of arms, front and back, so it was very easy to put the whole thing together. I had some challenges fitting the components that I was using on this build because of how narrow it is. It's a fairly narrow frame, you can see here, so I had to squish things in the back there a little bit to get them to fit, which isn't so bad. It seems to be fine. Another consideration with the build was the TPU side plates. I had a lot of trouble with these in trying to keep the camera pointed straight. If you look at the DVR footage that I've posted from the WP17 so far, it always seems to be a little bit cockeyed to the left or right. I have not really been able to fix it, but it's such a small drift that I really don't care, and I'm just flying with it anyway. So it'd be nice to see a better TPU mount for the camera, something more like what they did for the WP17 the 3-inch Stretch X. So you see there the camera mount is a little bit different, and it holds the camera in place. It's nice and straight, so I do prefer this one. It's close. Other than that, the build was easy. Everything went together well. There's plenty of space vertically on the frame. It's just there's not that much space horizontally, so there's just something to keep in mind if you're going to build it. Extremely resilient frame. I have crashed this frame a few times already. Nothing has really broken at all. Nothing. Even when I used to have the antenna that is in the back here now, because I mount my antennas on the arms, even when I used to have the antenna mounted in the back here, I never broke anything. Like, I twisted the antenna a few times, but that was it. I even dropped the quad. I had a desync, and actually, not a desync. One of my props broke and burnt out a motor, and I was about 7-8 stories high, and the thing basically just like tumbled around and plummeted to the ground, and it landed like right on this arm right here and exploded this fox ear, completely obliterated it, but nothing broke. The thing bounced and it was good to go, and I've been flying it since. There's no stress fractures in the arms. Everything's solid, so I'm very impressed with the durability of the DMR frames. The Detroit Multirotor guys are definitely doing some good geometry, and they're picking good carbon fiber from what I can tell. The other thing, now getting more into the performance of the quad, this was the quad that got me addicted to Stretch X designs. I used to fly Standard X on everything for a while. I had like 3 quads with the Standard X design, and I loved them, but then I tried this, and it just felt different. There was a little bit more of a stability and a predictability to the flight, especially when turning, because the way I turn, I know some people like to yaw the quad and then turn, and that's fine. Like, if that's what works for you and that's what makes you fast, awesome. My thing is more to twist the quad so that it kind of does a coordinated turn, and then I pull up on the pitch to turn the quad. So I found that the Stretch X design lends itself very nicely to that sort of maneuvering and motion. So I'm probably going to keep rocking Stretch X frames for racing from now on. My other racer is also a Stretch X. It's the Saturn 220X, this guy right here, and as you can see, it's just an even stretchier version of it. Super stable. I love flying it. It can do acro. They both can easily, but for racing, man, there's just such a nice feel about these copters going around a corner. But I'm especially impressed with how the DMR frame performed right out of the box. I had no problems setting it up and tuning it, and it just rocks. It really changed the way I fly for racing, at least. So that's the performance in a nutshell. Of course, that's going to vary according to what props and motors you use and how you fly, but I found for my style of racing, this fit the bill quite well. And I actually kind of like how it's a little bit more compact than the Saturn. The Saturn has more power because it has the big T2 motors, but sometimes I think that this guy's quicker. So anyway, just a frame worth considering if you're looking for a Stretch X and something that's like really built tough. Like, think about this. it's a good option. They told me that they are not going to be actually doing the two arms. They're going to be doing individual arms so that it's easier to replace, because apparently that was a gripe that a lot of people had. And this is by no means the final design that they're going to be releasing. Was just one of the prototypes that they released. I know that there's been quite a few, so look out for the StretchX 5-inch quad that Detroit Multirotors is going to be putting out sometime in 2017, and it might be worth checking out. So thanks again for watching, guys. I hope that was informative, and I hope you learned something today. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.